In this screencast, we're going to be creating cards for our card page. Now, before we get started, I want to make sure that you've already watched the card page screencast, and if not, please stop this video and watch that first. Also, understand that this is going to be a fairly lengthy screencast because there's a lot to cover. So let's get started by showing you first an example of your Nick team created a bunch of cards for the intelligence page. So you can see there are several cards on this page with a mixture of content. We have links, and all the files have a little kind of like download icon next to it. And if we ever have more than, I think, 9 links, we have this view more button. For images, we have our title and the image, and an image is linked, and then we have the image title text right below, so it's kind of duplicated for convenience. So let's go back to our test card and let's add our first card. So I'm going to click edit, scroll to the bottom, and now we have our demo that I've created before. Either you can delete or remove that, but also you have the option to add a new card, which we're going to do, and you can add an existing card. Now what happens when you click add an existing card, it allows you to add a card that you've already created. And to do so, you just have to start typing the name of that card. So if I just started typing T, I can see all of the cards that I've created with TE. And somehow it finds these cards, and if I just select them, I can click add card and hit save. And now you can see we have 2 cards added to the page. So if you ever have existing cards that you want to just have that same duplicated content on your page without having to recreate it, you can do so by clicking this add existing card button. Let's add our own new card together. I'm going to add a title, so new card, a description, and now we have 3 different types of content we can add to these cards. We have images, links, and files, and they're all pretty self-explanatory. So let's add our first image. I'm going to click add new card under card image reference, and I'm going to give it a title, image example. I'm going to select an image. It's going to upload that image, and I'm going to use for the title, I'm going to use the same for the alt and the title for the image, and then below we have to add a card image link. So I'm going to add some text for that and a link, of course. Oops. Okay, gonna click create card now, and now we have our first image, and let's create our first link. Okay, that's pretty simple. Now let's add our first file, and again, you can, just like kind of the whole cards, you can add existing media. So if you've already uploaded media, you can add existing media, kind of the same concept. But I'm going to click add new media, new file, and you can ignore this log message field. I'm going to upload a new file, and that's it for creating that file. I'm going to click create media. Now we have 3 different examples of those 3 different types of content, a title and description, and now I'm going to click create card. And if you wanted to, you can resort these cards here, but for now I'm going to click save. Awesome. Now I can see my new card and the description and this image title, and the image is linked, and we have it duplicated below. We have that image link text. We have an example of the link, and we have an example of file. And just to let you know, when you click the file, it'll automatically open up in a new tab. Okay, let's try editing this card that we've already created. And I want to show you how this works. So we have 2 image references here, but it shows 3 different images, but this is 1 image reference, and this is the second image reference. So I'm going to add another image to this image example. It's pretty simple to do. I'm going to click edit. Going back to that card, our new card, I'm going to click edit here again. And under image card reference, let's edit this example image. And and you can add up to 2 images for each image reference. So if you have a map that can be linked to the same thing, and you have these 2 images that kind of go together and link to the same thing, that could work. So I'm gonna upload an example image. Hopefully I don't pick the same image. Awesome. Okay, now let's add some alt text and title text, and it's gonna link to the same thing, which is fine. I'm gonna click, and if you don't want it to, you would actually add a new image reference. Okay, let's say that's all we want to do. Let's update the card and hit save. And now you can see those 2 images are right next to each other because they are linked to the same thing, and we also have the image link text right underneath as well. Okay, now let's upload a new image that's its own image reference, and it'll kind of emulate what we have over on this left side. Go back to our new card, click edit. Let's add a new card underneath card image references. So this is our second image, and I'm going to put that as a text, and I'm going to upload an image. Okay, and while we're here, let's first save that card. So we need to save that image card. So we have 2 images, and again, like anywhere in Drupal, if you see these little cross arrows, I can drag and drop and save that order. And let's add a new link. So we need to actually, and just to let you know, if you start typing and you see this little drop down, we can quickly pick internal links, and I don't have to type in the URL. Like, I can just type in the title of that page, and now it'll automatically be linked to whatever content you've created that it starts with New Mexico. So that works, and let's might as well add new image, or sorry, new file. I'm gonna click create media. Great. Okay, so we've added another example for each type, and now let's click update card, and now click save. And you have to follow this order. You have to update the card before you hit the save button for the page, or you'll lose all your changes. So make sure you follow that order. Okay, so now we have our second image, and I've moved it above the first image example, and as you can see, it takes the full width of the card, as it should. And we have our image example, the original one, that's split into 2, same thing we had before. We have our second link, and that is for an internal link, and then we have our second file. Okay, that's basically it for cards. If you wanted to, you could always click edit, and let's say we want to remove the one we added as an existing year-to-date historical data. So if you click remove, you have to pay attention to this, because like if you've ever added this anywhere else, you do not want to delete this card from the system, because, and especially this one, because I didn't create that card here, I created it somewhere else, and I don't want to lose that card from that other page, so I don't want to have this checked. But let's say you did, and you created this in other places, but all of this content doesn't exist anymore, isn't relevant, you want to remove it from the whole entire system, you can check this off, but make sure, very sure, that that's the case, because there is no undo. And for this example, this year-to-date historical data, that card does have a home somewhere else, and I don't want to remove it. So I'm going to just click remove and not check that. And let's resort it. Okay, so our new cards first, and click save. Awesome. Okay, perfect. So we have our new card that we've created together as the first one, and if we wanted to, we could always add more cards below, and that'll eventually float to the right. But that's it for adding cards to the website and to the card pages. Thanks for watching.